Ladies and gentlemen, hey, 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 I don't know about you, what? But I came to party tonight, yeah! If you with me, what? Put your hands up right now! Put 'em up, put 'em up, put 'em up! Hey! Drinks up high every time I hit the party! Shot, 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 shot!
So, before we start, we're furnished with some drink samples by Crunk Energy. And so we wanted some crunk in our mouths and in our ears and thought we might entertain you for just a short while.
That was the illest. That was the illest.
Coming to you today from somewhere in Boulder, Colorado in a 2011 Malibu. And this is...
This is where the fun's at. I forgot to look at the camera. Yeah, so, new car.
New car. This, well, first, even before we get going, Jeremy Tanner and...
F. Rodriguez.
Excellent. This is a new car, about a week old. It belongs to the pre-wife. The check engine light came on, and so I had to run it in for service today. Well, two things. It's a 2011 Malibu, and I say pre-wife because Saturday I will be married.
I commend you for it. I'm terrified.
It doesn't have to be scary. It could be a wonderful time.
I think it's awesome. I've been getting invited to a lot of weddings recently. It makes me, weird. I don't know, like the whole thing about, being mature and committing and stuff. That's awesome. I find it scary. For whatever reason. Single forever.
I don't know that it should be single forever. I don't know that there should be any reason because you just had a birthday. Happy birthday. You're
Yeah, I am 30 years old as of last Thursday. And I spent my birthday in Las Vegas. I'd never been to Las Vegas before. And you've been, for sure.
I've never been on purpose, but I've been about 5 times or so.
The thing about Vegas is, and this will sound stupid, it was the ladies. Now, I've been around the block like Tetris, right? And so, seeing women and stuff is not that big of a deal, but for whatever reason, these Vegas ladies, I was like staring, like gawking, like a newbie, and I don't know why. And it really just annoyed me that I was suddenly like 12 again, right?
Well, I think you're probably overstimulated. The lights, the noise, the letter X.
For sure, it's a very alive place.
Right from when you get off the airplane. You get off the airplane, you're hit with the smell of like old sex and broken dreams in your ears. There's the rattle of slot machines because they have slots at the airport.
In the airport. I know that sounds, everyone probably knows that, but this is my first time. And so, and I'm not even, I live in Boulder, right? We don't have a casino. I wasn't used to this constant array of noise and lights and the expectation of winning stuff. So it was, I'm glad I went, for sure. I was there for Blog World, social media conference. Met a lot of great people. But yeah, so I'm for sure glad I went. I don't know that everyone watching is a big fan of Las Vegas. I liked it. I had fun. It was just draining, for sure.
So Vegas, good, like everything, in moderation. I'd been the first 3 years since Blog World's inception. Did not make it this year as I was coming fresh off AYCJ, All You Can Jet. JetBlue did a deal where for $4.99 or $6.99 for 30 days from September 7th to October 6th, you could take as many flights as you wanted to domestic locations for no additional charge, and international you could do for the cost of international taxes, $35 or $75 or whatever it ended up working out to be.
So where did you go? Can you rattle off some?
10 cities. I think I can rattle them off, but I don't have them written down in front of me. I went from Denver to Boston, Boston to Chicago, Chicago to Austin, Texas. I popped over to San Antonio, back to Austin, over to New Orleans, from New Orleans to LA, from LA to Baltimore, to Minneapolis, to New York, down to Phoenix, and then back through Boston to Denver.
So what did you learn?
What I learned is that most JetBlue flights connect through New York, and so in between all those cities, I popped back to New York and then went. And so New Orleans to LA was New Orleans to New York to LA, which hurts a little bit more than
That's dumb.
Hurts a little bit more than a little. Yes, but it's effectively $35, and so you don't mind so much.
I suppose I'll go on record as saying that's dumb.
I learned that Steven Slater was the guy who freaked out, grabbed 2 beers, and popped the popped the fun slide. Was probably the only disgruntled employee that JetBlue has. Everyone was professional, polite, courteous, and happy. I don't know where they found so many happy people. It might be because they're a young airline, but usually I get these pissed off air wenches on United. But
right.
JetBlue, happy folks.
I fly Frontier as a rule. I mean, it's not really because of anything. It's just I like consistency and the little animals. I'm into animals. I play Farmville. But yeah, everyone at Frontier. Yeah, I know that, working for an airline in the airline industry is probably, fraught with a lot of stress because of just it's the airline industry. But by and large, everyone I've ever dealt with has been pretty rock and roll. Whether Frontier or even what's the other one that got a lot of flack for a while? Delta. I thought they were fine. I think Southwest was at Blog World. I didn't get to meet any of the Southwest peeps. Sorry. But I got big love, LUV, for Southwest, just because, I don't know, Who
else do we have? We have big love for a friend now in Denver who we stole from Southwest.
Who?
Paula Berg!
Oh yes, Paula Berg. Paula Berg, if you are tuning in, I think in a very real way, I think I meant to marry Paula Berg. If only because that means that on Twitter, her username would become Berg of War, which I think is fantastic. I'm a big fan of this. Hi.
No, we're not going to cut that. That counts as a legitimate marriage proposal, and you guys are going to have the most beautiful PR babies.
I got a haircut last night. One thing that people may not know about me is I get a haircut every week. I don't know if you can see it terribly well, but it looks fantastic. And the way
I'm right next to it. I can see it. It does look fantastic.
The way I maintain that is weekly haircuts.
Weekly haircut. F stays pretty fresh between the weekly haircuts, the stylish hoodies, the now jackets, and usually fashionable footwear. Today it's today we're not even going to talk about what he's got on his feet today.
Sorry, it was an off day. It's a Wednesday. It's hump day.
Maybe you should send him some shoes.
Yeah.
Our friends from Boulder furnished me with some shoes. That is the
Pearl
Izumi Synchro Fuel. I ran around in it for a month. It's wonderful. Thank you, Cody.
Yeah, for the record, 10.5.
Size 45 Euro or 11.5 or 12 US. No, a lot of Euro sizing is very popular with fine sneakers.
It's not American. All right, Euro sizing is not American.
Fair enough.
This is really tasty.
Good to know.
Yeah, just wanted to point out. So before we started filming, we were debating about whether or not we would like Crunk, this flavor, because I know Tanner's had it many times before. Really tasty. This is
mango peach,
and gotta say, I would drink this again. I know that's your rating system, but yeah, I would absolutely drink this again on purpose.
Yeah, so we're not going to pour any cognac in it because F is a non-drinker.
Yeah,
we're in a car right now, which is all kinds of bad looking.
Yeah.
If we're drinking and driving, even if it's with the Crunk. But
there will be no exceptions made from the BPD. I'm afraid not. But yeah, for the record, really tasty. I know that energy drinks aren't the best thing for you. Not gonna lie, I know this. I read your blogs. Those of you who write about health and things. I don't care. It's really tasty, and I like it.
Speaking of energy drinks and blogs, one of my first blog posts was about NOS energy drink. And it said something like, NOS energy drink, it'll redline your heart. And 2 or 3 years later, I can't remember how long it's been up, summer 2007, so it's 3 years later, I get a comment on it. I'm not sure how this girl found it, but it was a 15-year-old girl and says, I'm a gamer, it helps me pwn the noobs. And there's no way it's too much for me, and if it's too much for you, you're a big pussy. And that was, I approved the comment immediately. I almost feel like closing the blog because new high score. Any day I get called a pussy by a 15-year-old girl.
That is a red letter day.
You win.
I don't know where the phrase red letter day came from. I just said that. I think it's something my mom said. So I apologize if that's not appropriate to say, but that it just came out of my mouth.
We're going to have to research it for the next episode.
Yes, we're researching Red Letter Day. I can't think of anything else.
I can. You're, not to toot your own horn, but Boulder's Ignite has been
Yeah, that's right.
completely out of control lately. It's going to come back to a smaller venue.
Yeah, so Ignite Boulder, for those of you who aren't familiar with the event, is basically public speaking for geeks. The ethos behind it is basically enlighten us, but make it quick. So we get people up on stage to speak for 5 minutes with these rules. You get 20 PowerPoint slides that automatically advance every 15 seconds. You can talk about whatever you want. We try to hew toward some social value.
Something that has value to it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're awesome, and you know you're awesome, and you can devote 20 slides to how awesome you are, I don't care, and no one else does either. So, our 13th event is December 8th at the Boulder Theater. After having done a few at Chautauqua, which is way bigger.
But way colder in December.
Yeah, it would be unbearable to be in there. So, if that sounds interesting to you, then yeah, buy a ticket, igniteboulder.com. I'll be there. Tanner will be there. Are you going to be in town?
December 8th?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll try to make it. I've only missed one Ignite so far, which was, I think, Ignite 10.
Right on. Tanner spoke at the last one. I do a little music thing at the beginning of them. It's a ton of fun.
A bat dive bomb the stage. I can't guarantee no bats in Boulder Theater, but most likely there will be no bats or any sort of wild creatures.
The event is 21 and up, FYI. And
dress code this time.
Yeah, so this was kind of interesting. It came about randomly at a meeting that we had. We decided to do a winter formal theme for it. So basically get dressed up. Guys wear suits, ladies wear dresses, ladies wear suits, guys wear dresses. I don't care. Look cool. Not mandatory, like we'll still let you in for sure, but a lot of us are going to be, looking pretty stylish. So
and you don't want to be the one who's not.
It sucks not to, to play along, right? I mean, go to a thrift store. I'm not buying a suit. I'm going to a thrift store and buying a fake suit. So or if for whatever reason if you need help, assembling an outfit, email me. I'll help you out. We'll do it. But yeah, December 8th. It's a Wednesday.
Okay. Other than that, we're close to done. Outside of the phenomenon, I mean, there's children on Twitter, a lot of them now. Outside of Bieber, like real children, like small ones, some who haven't even been born yet.
Yeah.
I think my favorites, not an all-inclusive list, but Baby Berto's there. Katie Spore. There's
What's DJ Bodie?
DJ Bodie is our little buddy.
Yeah, so basically there's a trend.
Purple
there was
Army?
a statistic it wasn't from Mashable, but I saw it on Mashable, that says 92% of U.S. toddlers have an online presence, meaning that their parents, for whatever reason, have created websites for them, put them on Flickr, put them on Facebook, gave them Twitter accounts. At first, I mean, you balk at that number. Like, really? Like, 92% of, babies, kids, are online.
Well, but it's like 50% of fetuses. Like, before they've even taken a breath of air.
Right.
The first time. They're already on the Twitter, at least.
And I know I mentioned this earlier, getting invited to so many weddings and people getting married left and right. Yeah, so, I mean, are you... I know, obviously, you don't have a kid yet, but, I mean, do
Nope.
you anticipate creating, a Twitter account for, baby Tanner?
If Twitter's still around by the time it's time to have children, we'll see.
Interesting. What I want to know is, if a baby is on Twitter, does it have crawlers instead of followers? I thought that was great!
It was something.
On that note, I think we're out.
I think we're out, too. Our intro music was...
Amazing.
Was Lil Jon's single from Crunk Rock. It's Hey, featuring Boulder Zone 303.
Sure.
Drink some Crunk, grab the single. We will see you again before too long.